Which way is up, Capsuleers? So I just wanted to very briefly do a quick just chat video about the upcoming changes, the introduction of interdiction spheres and warp bubbles, if you will, and really why that's such an issue for me right now. And it worries me more than just the problems that we'll face with them being brought into the game. It worries me that the game developers don't have a full understanding of the game Eve. And they're introducing problems without solutions currently. They're introducing modules here with interdiction spheres and warp bubbles that do not currently have a counter. And the way that I'll illustrate this just very briefly, it's very simple. When you're in a nullsec system and you have two separate gates and you're going from gate to gate, if you come in through this gate, you want to be able to scan this gate and see, are there 1,000 bubbles surrounding this gate? And, you know, people sitting on that gate just waiting for me to land in this bubble, get caught in it and blow my ship up, right? That's an important thing. That's an important skill you need to have. Now, if you are within 12 or 14 AU, which is, you know, that's how they measure distance in Eve. If you are within 14 AUs in regular standard Eve, you can use something that comes on every ship. It's not a module, it's just an ability, something that you can do. You can scan in, you know, this particular direction. You can scan everything over here, and you'll get a list of everything that's there. It'll say there's 6 warp bubbles, there's 3 warp interdictors, and there's, you know, 3 blackbirds and 2 caracals. And you know, yeah, I should definitely not go there or I'm going to lose my ship. And that DScan is something that is just absolutely standard in EVE Online, but is missing from EVE Echoes, and for now is acceptable. There's nothing that really, I mean, other than just you have to go to every planet or every anomaly or every mining, you know, anomaly to find people to fight in PvP. You can't just scan stuff down. There's been no real game-breaking thing about not having DScan. But bringing in interdiction spheres is game-breaking without DScan. And, you know, if you, let's say, for example, the other issue is if you can scan this and it's within 12 AUs, congratulations, you're good to go, right? You can just scan it and see all these interdiction spheres and know, yeah, I'm not going there. But if this is on the other side of the system, you know, if they're further away, and this is 20 AUs away, your only hope here is that you've created a bookmark that's maybe 10 AUs away from the Stargate, right? So if your intention is to go to this Stargate, you've created a bookmark that's forever in space right here that you can warp to instead of the gate, and then use your DScan to view it from, you know, as close as you can and see if there's 100 bubbles here. And I just wanted to bring this up because it makes no sense to me. And I don't know if I'm missing something or what, but I mean, I'm familiar with the mechanics of an interdiction and warp bubble, and that the counter to that is both DScan and bookmarks. You know, without DScan, you have to just fly to that Stargate. There's no option. You can bounce to the sun, and then, you know, and then go to the Stargate, but are you telling me that they expect us in a mobile game to add an extra step to every single time that we go through a nullsec system if there's 1 or 2 other people in it? And I just don't understand how they expect this to work. It's so griefy. It's so ready to be a problem. It's something that's going to be, you know, people, maybe it'll make them rush and they have DScan and bookmark coming down the pipeline quick and it's a surprise, you know? But if they don't, this is a huge problem. It's game breaking. It's meta shattering, and it's worse than that because there is no counter. It's not going to shift the meta. It's just going to be a huge burden, a huge problem. Right now you have to randomly, you know, run around the system to every anomaly and every mining thing if you want to find a fight, instead of just descanning down the system and saying, oh, there's a caracal that's in this anomaly, let me go blast him. You know, I don't mind that for now, but if you're telling me that now, if I don't know what's there before I get there, I'm going to lose my ship, that's a huge problem, and there's no way around it. It just blows my mind. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to be really quick. I wanted to just kind of voice my concerns. I would love to hear your guys' feedback, what you think about it. If you haven't gone to the test server, you know, I would say I highly recommend that you do, but there's really not much on here. You know, there's just interdiction spheres, and for me, I've tested this. You know, I've flown around with buddies and had them get stuck in the bubble, and they work as advertised. So, you know, that's the problem there, is that they work as advertised. These will pull you out of warp. You cannot, you can't shoot them currently because they don't show up in space. You know, you can't even go around shooting these things. And there could be 20 bubbles on this gate, and you have zero way of knowing that they're there. So that's it. I want it to be quick. I won't take any more of your time. You know, which way is up, Capsuleers? This is the first episode. And I just have huge concerns about the future of the game, to be honest. I think long term it'll be fine, but I think that them releasing interdiction spheres without bookmarks and DScan is just... it's just that. I don't know. Long sigh. So, yeah, thanks for joining me on my late night rant. I appreciate it. Please let me know in the comments how you guys feel about this. You know, is this acceptable to you? Are you aware that this is such a huge problem? Do you not live in Null or move through Null so it doesn't affect you? Do you think they have DScan on the way? I'd just love to hear your guys' thoughts, because as this update approaches, I just have more and more dread that this is going to be a huge problem, because I live in nullsec and I love it here, and you know, I like the problems and challenges that come with living within nullsec. But if you don't give me the tools that I need to solve a problem, the worst thing you can do is give me more problems, you know? Nobody's going to like this. It's not that, hey, I just don't, you know, I'm not going to like it. No one's going to like this. There's no way around it. People are not going to like it, whether they're living in Null, whether they, you know, they transport through Null, whether they visit it sometimes. If you have any interaction whatsoever with nullsec, you know, sub-00, this is going to suck until DScan and bookmarks come out. And I don't understand, you know, the reasoning for doing this. And yeah, I'd just love to hear your thoughts, guys. Thanks so much. And I will see you next time.